So, is there a difference in flavor profiles with honey depending on, I guess, the year you get the honey?
Mhm.
So, like spring versus summer versus fall or whatever there is. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it all depends on the flora that the bees are getting to.
Mhm,
So, like your different um temperatures, climates,
mhm,
your humidity, all that stuff can affect how well the bees get the honey. And then the
mhm.
health of the bees matters. Also, the time of the year. It's really interesting if you can get a hold of honey from the same provider of like a spring harvest versus like a fall harvest, because you'll notice a different flavor, you'll notice a different color. So,
Yeah.
and it's from the same blossoms, it's from the same area, but because of the different time of the year, they produce a different tasting honey. So, year in terroir, as we call it in the wine world, that is a massively effective thing on taste.
Yeah. So, the reason why I was asking, because I consume a lot of honey with my teas and coffees and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And I noticed this last batch that my wife got, and it's always from the same individual. This one has a lot of like lemon notes to it, which I thought was pretty interesting. Which is fine with the teas I drink, not so much with the coffee. It doesn't taste too good. Well,
Yeah.
the lemon
Yeah.
flavor coffee is not too good, but I would just, and I wanted to ask her, I never met her, but I was kind of curious, like, when was this harvest? Or is
Hmm.
this a different part of your field? Or I know some people I've met in this local area where I'm at, they may have different, what are they called? Apiaries, if I'm correct, right? Okay, so they may have like one on this mountain and one on this mountain over here, but it's all, by the same person owns them. So
Hmm.
they're just kinda curious, like, "Well, where did this come from?" And all that kind of stuff. Maybe I should reach out to 'em and just ask.
Yeah, a lot of places will rent bees to, or like rent out locations like that
Yeah.
have certain things like radish blossom honey. You might
Okay.
not have that in access, like that beekeeper might not have that close to them,
Mhm.
but they might have a farmer who has lots of radish plants. And so then they work with the
Interesting.
farmer to say, "Hey, I'm going to go can I put a beehive or yeah, beehive here? No,
Mhm.
bee box, whatever it's called." And let the bees do their thing, and then they make out some sort of deal, I'm sure. And then normally bees, we can't control them, but they'll go and pollinate on what's around them. So you can assume that if they're pollinating in proximity to that specific plant, they're going to get that when they make honey.
Yeah, that's so fascinating. It really is. It reminds me of, like, even in the in the beer world, like, you can basically, cook the grain a little bit and you'll get different, notes from it. So you can get, like,
Hmm.
caramel notes or biscuit notes or breadiness or sometimes chocolate, coffee, all these different flavors just by just changing the temperature on how it's being malted, essentially, which is pretty fascinating in itself as well
It's
too.
fascinating.
If I I lost my spot. Sorry, I apologize.